Hi everyone, this is our research YouTube channel. In this channel, we are going to share the NEET exam questions and answers with explanation in a very easy way. Subscribe for more videos and click bell icon for the immediate notifications.
So this is 2023 NEET question paper. Subject is Botany. Totally 48 booklets are there. We are going to see the booklet code number F5. So these questions are taken from 11th standard and 12th standard biology books in NCERT syllabus and some are from state board syllabus too. Simply saying, if you want to get good cutoff marks in NEET, you need to study minimum 10 years question paper. Yeah, so we have two sections, section A and section B. Let's see. The Historic Convention on Biological Diversity, the Earth Summit, was held in Rio de Janeiro in the year 1992. The answer is option first, 1992. And this question is taken from Unit 10, Ecology, Chapter 13, Biodiversity and Conservation. The next one, the phenomenon of pleiotropism refers to a single gene affecting multiple phenotypic expression. The answer is second one. Pleiotropy refers to the phenomenon in which a single locus affects two or more apparently unrelated phenotypic traits. And this question is taken from Genetic and Evolution Unit 7, Chapter 4, Principles of Inheritance and Variations. The next one is movement and accumulation of ions across a membrane against their concentration gradient can be explained by active transport. The answer is option third, active transport. This question is taken from Physiology, Unit 5, Chapter 17, Locomotion and Movement. Active transport is the movement of molecules across a cell membrane in the direction against their concentration gradient, that is moving from an area of lower concentration to an area of higher concentration. So then next one is, how many ATP and NADP is required for the synthesis of one molecule of glucose during Calvin cycle? The answer is option first, 18 ATP and 12 NADPH2. For one turn, ATP used 3 molecules, NADPH2 used 2 molecules. For this cycle, ATP used 3 into 6 equal to 18 molecules, NADPH used 2 into 6 equal to 12 molecules. Therefore, total ATP and NADPH required to produce one molecule of glucose is 18 and 12 respectively. The next one is, which of the following stages of meiosis involves division of centromere? The answer is second one, anaphase 2. During anaphase, sister chromatids separate and the centromeres divide. The sister chromatids are pulled apart by the shortening of the spindle fibers. This question is taken from Unit 7, Genetics and Evolution, Chapter 5, Molecular Basis of Inheritance. The next one is, given below are two statements. Statement 1, endarch and exarch are the terms often used for describing the position of secondary xylem in the plant body. This is incorrect. These terms are not used to describe the position of secondary xylem, but rather the arrangements of primary xylem. So the statement 2 is, exarch condition is the most common feature of the root system. This is correct. So the answer is option third. Statement first is incorrect, but statement 2 is true. This question is taken from Unit 2, Structural Organization of Plants, Chapter 6, Anatomy of Flowering Plants. Frequency of recombination between gene pairs on same chromosome as a measure of the distance between genes to map their position on chromosome was used for the first time by option 2, Alfred Stedman. This question is taken from Unit 7, Genetics and Evolution, Chapter 5, Molecular Basis of Inheritance, under DNA topic. The next one, which hormone promotes internode and petiole elongation in deep water rice? Option 2 is correct, ethylene. Ethylene promotes the elongation of internodes in deep water rice plants so that the leaves and upper parts of the plant remain above water. This question is taken from Unit 4, Plant Physiology, Chapter 13, Plant Growth and Development. The next two questions are taken from Tamil Nadu Samachir Kalvi, 12th Bio Botany, Chapter 5, Plant Tissue Culture. In tissue culture experiments, leaf mesophyll cells are put in a culture medium for form callus. This phenomenon may be called as dedifferentiation. The answer is first, dedifferentiation. The next one, in angiosperm, the haploid, diploid, triploid structures of a fertilized embryo sequentially are the option 2, synerites, zygote and primary endosperm nucleus. The next one, which micronutrient is required for splitting of water molecule during photosynthesis? The answer is option 4, manganese. These minerals involved in the water splitting reaction during photosynthesis are manganese and chlorine. This question is taken from Unit 4 Plant Physiology, Chapter 11 Photosynthesis in Higher Plants. The next one is axial placentation is observed in option 3 China rose, petunia and lemon. This question is taken from Unit 6 Reproduction, Chapter 1 Sexual Reproduction in Flowering Plants. Axial placentation refers to the arrangement of the placenta at the central axis of the ovary. This pattern can be observed in plants like China rose, petunia, lemon and tomato. The next one is given below are two statements. One is labeled as assertion A and the other is labeled as reason R. The assertion A is late wood has fewer xylary elements with narrow vessels. Reason R, cambium is less active in winters. So the answer is 4. Both A and R are true and the R is the correct explanation for A. This question is taken from Unit 2 Structural Organization in Plants, Chapter 6 Anatomy of Flowering Plants. The next one is spraying of which of the following phytohormone on juvenile conifers helps hastening the maturity period that leads to early seed production. The option first, gibberellic acid. This question is taken from Unit 4 Plant Physiology, Chapter 13 Plant Growth and Development. The next question is during the purification process for recombinant DNA technology, addition of chilled ethanol precipitates out. The answer is option first, DNA. This question is taken from Unit 7 Genetics and Evolution, Chapter 5 Molecular Basis of Inheritance. The next one is given below are two statements, one labeled as assertion A and the other labeled as reason R. The assertion A. The first stage of gametophyte in the life cycle of moss is protonema stage. Reason R. Protonema develops directly from spores produced in capsule. So the answer is option 4. Both A and R are correct. And the R is the correct explanation of A. This question is taken from Unit 1, Chapter 3, Plant Kingdom. The next one is among eukaryotes, a replication of DNA takes place in option first, S phase. This question is taken from Genetics and Evolution, Chapter 5 Molecular Basis of Inheritance. In eukaryotes, the vast majority of DNA synthesis occurs during S phase of the cell cycle and the entire genome must be unwound and the duplicate to form two daughter copies. So the answer is option first, S phase. So the next one is in the equation GPP minus R equal to NPP. GPP is gross primary productivity, NPP is net primary productivity. R here is the option 2 respiratory loss. The gross primary productivity of an ecosystem is the rate of production of organic matter during photosynthesis. And this question is taken from Unit 4 Plant Physiology, Chapter 12 Respiration in Plants. The next one is in gene gun method used to introduce alien DNA into host cells, microparticles of dash metal are used. So the answer is option 2 tungsten or gold. Undifferentiated plant cells have a cell wall which can be easily broken down by bombarding them with high velocity microparticles of gold or tungsten coated with DNA in a gene gun. So the answer is option 2 tungsten or gold. This question is taken from Unit 7 Genetics and Evolution, Chapter 5 Molecular Basis of Inheritance. So the next one is large colorful fragrant flowers with nectar are seen in option 4 insected pollinated plants, and these characteristics are adaptation of flowers to attract insects like bees, butterflies. So this question is taken from Unit 6 Chapter 1 Sexual Reproduction in Flowering Plants. So the next one is family Fabaceae differs from Solanaceae and Liliaceae. With respect to the stamens, pick out the characteristics specific to family Fabaceae but not found in Solanaceae and Liliaceae. So the answer is diadelphous and dithecous anthers. And this question is taken from Unit 2 Structural Organization in Plants, Chapter 5 Morphology of Flowering Plants. So the next one is identify the pair of heterosporous pteridophytes among the following. So the answer is Selaginella and Salvinia. And this question is taken from Unit 2 Structural Organization of Plants, Chapter 6 Anatomy of Flowering Plants. The next question is, among the evil quartet, which one is considered the most important cause driving extinction of species? So the answer is option 4, habitat loss and fragmentation. This question is taken from Unit 10 Ecology, Chapter 13 Biodiversity and Conservation. So the next one is, upon exposure to UV radiation, DNA strained with ethidium bromide will show bright orange color. So the answer is option 3, bright orange color. And this question is taken from Unit 7 Genetics and Evolution, Chapter 5 Molecular Basis of Inheritance. So the next one is, expressed sequence tag ESTS refers to all genes that are expressed as RNA. That is, ESTS represent portion of expressed genes. They may be represented as either cDNA or mRNA sequences, or as the reverse complement of the mRNA, their template strand. So the answer is option 4, all genes that are expressed as RNA. This question is taken from Unit 7, Genetics and Evolution, Chapter 5, Molecular Basis of Inheritance. So the first question is, the reaction center in PS2 has an absorption maximum at 680 nm. So the answer is option 4, 680 nm. And this question is taken from Unit 4, Chapter 11, Photosynthesis in Higher Plants. The next one is, given below are two statements. Statement 1, the forces generated transpiration can lift a xylem-sized column of water over 130 meters high. So this is correct. Statement 2, transpiration cools leaf surfaces sometimes 10 to 15 degrees evaporate cooling. So this is also correct. So the answer is option 4. Both statement 1 and 2 are correct. This question is taken from Unit 4, Plant Physiology, Chapter 12, Respiration in Plants. The next one, what is the function of tassels in the corn cob? So the answer is option first, to trap pollen grains. And this question is taken from Unit 2, Structural Organization in Plants, Chapter 5, Morphology of Flowering Plants. So the next question is, cellulose does not form blue color with iodine because it does not contain complex helices and hence cannot hold iodine molecules. So the answer is option 2. And this question is taken from Unit 4, Plant Physiology, Chapter 13, Plant Growth and Development. So the next one is, given below are two statements. So the assertion A is, ATP is used two steps in glycolysis. Reason or, first ATP is used in converting glucose into glucose 6-phosphate and second ATP is used in conversion of fructose 6-phosphate into fructose 1 and 6-diphosphate. So the answer is option 4. Both A and R are true. The R is the correct explanation of A. And this question is taken from Unit 4, Plant Physiology, Chapter 11, Photosynthesis in Higher Plants. So the next one is, the thickness of ozone in a column of air in the atmosphere is measured in terms of Dobson unit. So the answer is option 4, Dobson unit. And this question is taken from CBSE syllabus, Chapter 16, Environmental Issues under Air Pollution topic. So the next one is, identify the correct statement. A, tetrivores perform fragmentation. B, the humus is further degraded by some microbes during mineralization. C, water-soluble inorganic nutrient go down into the soil and get precipitated by a process called leaching. D, the detritus food chain begins with living organisms. E, earthworms break down detritus into smaller particles by a process called catabolism. So the D and E are wrong statement. So the answer is option 4, A, B, C only. And this question is taken from Unit 6, Chapter 1, Sexual Reproduction in Flowering Plants. So the next one is, what is the role of RNA polymerase 3 in the process of transcription in eukaryotes? So the answer is option first, transcription of tRNA, 5SR RNA and snRNA. And this question is taken from Unit 7, Genetics and Evolution, Chapter 5, Molecular Basis of Inheritance. So the next one is, the process of appearance of recombination nodules occurs at which substage of prophase burst in meiosis? The answer is option first, Pachytene. This question is taken from Unit 3, Cell Structure and Functions, Chapter 10, Cell Cycle and Cell Division. So the next one is, unequivocal proof that DNA is genetic material was first proposed by option first, Alfred Hershey and Martha Chase. This question is taken from Unit 7, Genetics and Evolution, Chapter 5, Molecular Basis of Inheritance. So the next one is section B. Which one of the following statement is not correct? So the answer is option first, algal blooms caused by excess of organic matter in water improve water quality and promote fisheries. So this is wrong because this can lead to water quality degradation rather than improvement. These blooms can result in reduced oxygen levels in the water due to decomposition of the excess organic matter. So the answer is option first, and this question is taken from CBSE syllabus chapter 16 environmental issues under topic water pollution. So the next question is identify the correct statements. A. Lenticles are the lens-shaped openings permitting the exchange of gases. This is correct. B. Bark formed early in the season is called hard bark. This is incorrect. The bark formed early in the season is called soft bark. C. Bark is a technical term that refers to all tissues exterior to vascular cambium. This is also incorrect. Bark is a non-technical term that refers to all tissues exterior to the vascular cambium. So D. Bark refers to periderm and secondary phylum. This is correct. E. Phyllogen is single layer in thickness. So this is also incorrect. Phyllogen has several layers and is mainly composed of rectangular cells with thick walls. So the answer is option first, A and D only. So this question is taken from Unit 4 Plant Physiology, Chapter 12 Respiration in Plants. So the next one is given below are two statements. Assessing A, in gymnosperms the pollen grains are released from the microsporangium and carried by air currents. So reason are, air currents carry the pollen grains to the mouth of the archaea where the male gametes are discharged and pollen tube is not formed. This is false because in gymnosperm the male gametes are indeed discharged from the pollen tube which grows from the pollen grains towards the archaea. So the answer is option 2, A is true but Tor is false. So this question is taken from Unit 6 Chapter 1 Sexual Reproduction in Flowering Plants. So the next one is match list 1 with list 2. So M phase is 2 equational division, G2 phase is 2 proteins are synthesized, quiescent stage, inactive phase, G1 phase, interval between mitosis and initiation of DNA replication. So the answer is option 2. This question is taken from Unit 3 Cell Structure and Functions, Chapter 10 Cell Cycle and Cell Division. So the next one is which of the following statements are correct about Klinefelter syndrome? So the answer is option 2, B and E only. This question is taken from Unit 7 Genetics and Evolution, Chapter 5 Molecular Basis of Inheritance. So the next one is main step in the formation of recombinant DNA are given below. Arrange these steps to in correct sequence. So the answer is option 4, B, C, D, A. B is first, cutting of DNA at specific location by restriction enzyme. So C is second, isolation of desired DNA is fragment. D is third one, amplification of gene of interest using PCR. So the last one is A, insertion of recombinant DNA into the host cell. So the option 4 is correct. And this question is taken from Unit 7 Genetics and Evolution, Chapter 5 Molecular Basis of Inheritance under DNA topic. So the next one is how many different proteins does the ribosome consist of? So the answer is option 4, 80. This question is taken from Unit 7 Genetics and Evolution, Chapter 5 Molecular Basis of Inheritance. So the next question is given below are two statements. Statement 1, Gauss's competitive exclusion principle states that two closely related species competing for the same resources cannot coexist independently and competitively. Inferior one will be eliminated eventually. So this is correct. Statement 2 is in general carnivores are more adversely affected by competition than herbivores. This is incorrect. So the answer is option 2. Statement 1 is correct but statement 2 is false. So this question is taken from Unit 10 Ecology, Chapter 11 Organisms and Populations. So the next one is which of the following combination is required for chemiosmosis? So the answer is option 4, membrane, proton pump, proton gradient, ATP synthesis. And this question is taken from Unit 7 Genetics and Evolution, Chapter 5 Molecular Basis of Inheritance. So the next question is given below are two statements. Assertion A flower is defined as modified shoot wherein the shoot apical meristem changes to floral meristem. Reason or internode of the shoot gets condensed to produce different floral appendages laterally at successive node instead of leaves. So the answer is option 4. Both A and R are true and R is the correct explanation of A. And this question is taken from Unit 4 Plant Physiology, Chapter 13 Plant Growth and Development. So match list 1 with list 2. List 1 interaction, list 2 is species A and B. Interactions between different species in a community are called interspecific interactions. In interspecific interactions, plus sign indicates beneficial interaction, minus sign indicates detrimental, that means loss interaction, and 0 indicates neutral interactions. So the answer is option first. In mutualism, both the species are benefited, hence it is represented by plus plus. In commensalism, one species is benefited and the other one is unaffected, hence it is represented by 0 and plus. In amensalism, one species is harmed whereas the other is unaffected, hence it is represented by 0 and minus. The last one is parasitism. Only one species benefits and the other one is detrimental to the other species. Hence it is represented by plus and minus. And this question is taken from Unit 10 Ecology, Chapter 11, Organisms and Populations. So the next one is match list 1 with list 2. Answer is option 4. So the option A, cohesion is mutual attraction among water molecules. Option B, adhesion is attraction towards polar surfaces. Option C, surface tension, more attraction in liquid phase. Option D, quotation, water loss in liquid phase. So the answer is option 4 and this question is taken from Unit 4 Plant Physiology, Chapter 11 Photosynthesis in Higher Plants. So the next question is melanate inhibits the growth of pathogenic bacteria by inhibiting the activity of succinic dehydrogenase. So the answer is option 4 and this question is taken from Unit 4 Plant Physiology, Chapter 12 Respiration in Plants. The next question is match list 1 with list 2. A, iron is to activator of catalyst. So B is zinc, synthesis of oxygen. Option first. C, boron is to cell elongation and differentiation. D is for molybdenum is to component of nitrate reductase. So the answer is option 2. A is for 3, B is for first, C is for 4, D is for 2. This question is taken from Unit 4 Plant Physiology, Chapter 12 Respiration in Plants. So the last question of botany is match list 1 with list 2. Oxidative A is oxidative decarboxylation is to pyruvate dehydrogenase. B is glycolysis is to EMP pathway. So C is oxidative phosphorylation is to electron transport system. So D is tricarboxylic acid cycle is to citrate synthesis. So the answer is option 3. A is for 2, B is for 4, C is for 3 and D is for first. So this question is taken from Unit 3 Cell Structures and Functions, Chapter 8 Cell, the Unit of Life. Thank you for watching. If any doubts, please leave it in comments. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. See you in next video.